Welcome back to Planting Life Matters.
Oh, breathtaking moment. Look at the daylilies. My peach daylilies have opened up. They are looking fabulous. Oh, fabulous, fabulous. Don't you just love it when you get a big surprise? Look at this gladiola that I don't even remember planting. It's just one that popped up from out of nowhere. I have some dahlias that are coming through. I have some really tall, I think the variety of zinnias that are going to get up to like, those are the seedlings in the back there. They'll get up to like probably 36 inches, maybe even 48, and they're red. And this is another variety of salvia. I don't remember that one. This is the Mystic Spires Blue, but I'll have to get the name and put it on the screen for that one. And so let me go back over here because my big leaf begonias are getting huge. They are so pretty, so pretty. Another thing that struggled this year for the first time is my Everillo Carex. I think the freeze was a little too much for it this past year, and it really struggled, but it's not dead. It is coming back. That's looking a lot better than it was. This one here, in fact, looks great, but it did look like that at one point. My hostas are still coming through. I had some hosta bare roots that I planted. It's not doing so hot, but it's one of those things where next year it may just really thrive and kick in. And I have elephant ears and hosta and also coleus in that little pot. My dear Dolores, girl, you look like you're struggling a little bit today. What's up with that? But I'm still happy with that color of it. We'll see how it goes along. I have more seedlings that are coming through. I've never planted zinnias in this bed before. And again, this is the red tall variety, so I'll be interested to see how those do. I have a bit of purple sweet potato vine next to the kaleidoscope shrub. I love that chartreuse and dark purple color mix. I have pansies that are still left over, looking pretty good from the winter, along with a silvery big leaf. Shoot. What's the name? What's the name? I just went blank. Dusty Miller. It's just a different variety of a Dusty Miller. So I tree formed my shrub that's been in this pot for quite a while. I love how wispy it looks. That's really cute. With the sweet potato vine and coleus that will fill in as the time goes on. I see that carrot was in a pot from last year. It's looking pretty healthy. Usually, I always plant a coleus here, and it takes up this entire space by the time summer comes around and into the fall. So I expect to have a lot of that filled in as we go along. Still haven't planted my juniper yet. I will get to it. I have some plans for it, but my heuchera is looking extremely healthy up front, along with my big leaf begonias and hostas and the creeping Jenny. Oh, that creeping Jenny just says, hello, what's up? Love it, love it. So I am pretty happy with how things are going because of the weather has been amazing. My hanging baskets are looking good. I get excited this time of year, you guys, because we don't always get to have nice, pretty, healthy plants when it's so hot here. It is extremely hot. Come June last year, we were in triple digits, and I don't care if you hand water or not. It just never really looked great to me until the fall came. So, oh my gosh, I love this hosta color. I'm sorry, coleus. That is so pretty, especially with it paired with the nandina. These are dwarf nandinas. I think it's the fire. I have to look and see. I think it's the fire version. But yeah, that looks really good with those. So I have out here on my curb next to the fireplace. Oh Lord, when did this become a fireplace? This is a mailbox. That just means I burn all my bills. But I don't know where fireplace came from. So seedlings coming through, zinnias of all shapes and sizes and colors, some coleus and red salvia. So I am playing around with some areas. This I just made as a little um, flower bed because the grass was dead. So I took the grass out temporarily and just made a bed out of it. I'm going to expand it and make it a little larger because it looks kind of weird that small. But that's the front, so I'm gonna head to the back now. How about we do a nighttime walkthrough? Let's see what's happening. Check it out. I'm so excited to share this with you. I have been updating some lights in the back, DIY. It's very expensive to have electricians come out and hardwire your lights for you. So there are some little pockets that are dark still, but for the most part, oh my goodness, I love the ambiance. Let me go back this way. So what I did is I bought some brown wire LED lights from a store that's called 1000bulbs.com. I think they're based out of Dallas. And so I ordered them last Christmas and I decided to buy them in the brown wire so I could use them year round in my garden and have them as garden lights instead. So I was blowing out fuses and tripping my panel because I had just way too much during Christmas. So I was able to have an electrician come out though and install a new 20 amp plug by tapping into my existing panel in my garage and just updating a new area for me to have more plugs outside so I don't put everything into one plug. So I'm going to walk through and just show you guys a little bit of what's happening here. I'm able to actually get everything lit up that I wanted. So I had some trees I wanted to light up and do like multi-trunk trees on the crepe myrtles. I didn't get to do that. So what I did, let me climb in here. So this tree, for example, this is a live oak. I was able to wrap both of those, but in this case, it's just way too many trunks for me to wrap. So I just put like a ball of lights in the center of it to just light them up at the bottom instead. I use, some multi-plug. These are pretty cool. I picked this up. That way I can plug in a few things at once. I try not to overload my sockets, so I've split those up pretty good. And so I'm able to have all my fountains running now at one time. I just threw these down a second ago. I don't know if I'm gonna leave those. Those are the green wired LED Christmas lights I was just kind of playing around with, trying to get some light in this back area because it's really dark back here. I am preparing for a couple of events that I'm having in the garden. I can't wait to share more details about that later. And so right now I'm still setting up some things. I got my ladder out. I don't know how to really wrap this gazebo. I mean, it's pretty tall. It's not that it's too tall. I can get the ladder. I'm just not really good with wrapping lights, I guess. I don't have the patience for doing that. So I have one strand that went up on one bar and then across the top and down the other. So there are two more sections that I didn't even light up. I'm gonna live with that for now. Um, I'm walking back here to Nola's Den area. So I have some solar lights I picked up on Amazon. I bought these little lights because I was planning to actually put them, let me show you what they look like. I was actually planning to put them on my fence. And I was going to just line the fence up to go all the way across, all the way around the entire area. But I thought, let me just put these on Nola little area so she can have light when she comes out in the middle of the night. So let me cut through here in her little area. Oh, and let me show you something. I'll do a daytime tour later on this month before May is up, but I thought it would be so cool to show you what it looks like at night. Check out Nola's artwork in her den area, y'all. So I'm gonna cut back. Oh wait, I'll turn around and go back. Let's go back this direction. Head towards the front. Sometimes I take shortcuts. I'll go some ways that I don't typically show y'all. Places I'm still working. Sometimes people don't like to show the ugly, but I think you got to see the real. I show the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. So I'm trying my hand at succulents a little bit more too. And I have, oh my goodness, my crepe myrtles. I don't know what happened to them. I planted 4 and they are not looking good. They're not completely dead because I have suckers coming out of the bottom, which I'm going to allow because the top branches, they died and I just cut them back. I just cut them all the way down. So I'm starting over with those trees. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I'm leaving the lights in them for now. Hey, Nola. Hello, baby. Hi. Are you happy? Are you excited? What are you excited about? You want to go in the house? She is so not an outdoor dog. So that's it. Just a real quick tour of what it looks like at nighttime when everything is lit up. My fountain over here does not have a light. It has a light, but it's not on. I think I need another plug for that though. And I'm gonna cut through the ligustrum. I wish my arches were lit up, but they're not, and that's okay. I have some tiki torches. I should have lit those. In case you ever see these big metal ugly things, they used to be really pretty when I first got them. The original color was red, but they've been painted so many times over the years. They don't sell these anymore. I bought them on Wayfair probably 10 years ago, but it's really cool. You just pull this out. This whole big contraption here is metal and it has sand in it, so they never blow over. And I can light those. So I have 4 of them. Here's another one here. I'll give you a better view of what that looks like. So that's a metal tiki torch pyramid shape. And you just pop these out to refuel them, refill them. And they light really well. But they've been out in the weather and they've gotten a bit rusted. And that's okay. Like this one here, peeling off really bad. I just spray paint them again. So that's probably what I'll do with that. But this will help light things up in this area. And also keep the mosquitoes away with the citronella tiki torches. And then I have some other tiki torches that I've popped in corners back in the back. So whenever I have guests over, I'll light those up. I never light my fireplace. It's very rare. I've been having this fireplace for so many years, and I probably lit it maybe 3 times ever. So, but it is kind of cool to have whenever we use it, and throw a citronella, log in there. But kind of hot for that now. I've never really tried that in the summer. I should try it just to keep the mosquitoes away. I just love it out here at night. It feels so amazing. So pretty. I wish y'all were here with me. Thank you guys for all the support, all the love y'all been showing me. It's so funny. One person, I wish I had her name, she wrote and said, I think we're related. I think we're related by dirt. I thought that was hilarious. I know I have a lot of kinfolk out there that's related by dirt that love gardening as well. I love reading your comments. I try to read every single one of them and respond as much as possible. It's so exciting to talk with you guys and get ideas. My goodness, y'all have given me some really great ideas too. So thank you very much. There's one name I remember off the top of my head, Dolores, because that's my sister's name. So you've been really great. I appreciate you, Dolores, and your comments as well. Okay, now let's try this again in the back during the day. All right, and on top of this, oh wait, before I even get started, I love it when you just get welcomed by something really pretty as soon as you walk in the back garden. It's so pretty. I'm so excited about today, guys, because I am celebrating something very, very special, special to me. I am now 5 years officially in remission, and I celebrate every single day. I am a breast cancer survivor, and I remember my oncologist told me once that if I lived to see 5 years, that I would be considered fully in remission. Well, that day came on April the 30th this year, and I decided to do something I don't typically do, and that's throw myself a party. But also, it's not just for me. I have some very special relatives coming by I haven't seen in a long time. Quite a few of us have been through a lot of things. We're celebrating life in general. We are coming together and celebrating some people that we're remembering. We're also celebrating, hey, if you just got a promotion on your job or anything you're grateful for and thankful for, that's what it's about. So I am happy to share my garden, how it's looking right now in May. And there's some very pretty things out here, like, oh my goodness, the Suncoleus. Is that not gorgeous? Followed by some stone crop that will put off some really beautiful, that's a blue spruce stone crop, will put off really tall yellow shoots here soon. I see some more zinnia seedlings coming in. And FYI, zinnias are annuals in most locations up to zone 8. I'm in zone 8A. When you start to get into the warmer climates like a zone 9, they may come back, but mine actually comes back too. Not necessarily every single zinnia that I plant, but all of those I didn't plant. That's coming in from last year's seedlings and flowers that dropped and reseeded itself. I've passed a couple of these already. These are Turk's Cap. They come out late in the summer. They will grow as tall as the fence, which is 6 foot tall in some cases. I'm going to try to keep them a little shorter than that. But what's going to happen, and you can see this one here is, ooh, it's probably blurry. Okay. That one's starting to get ready to bud up because they will put off little red flowers all over this plant. This is one of the most hardy plants you can grow. I have 3 of them. I planted this one first. Right now, it's at least 5.5 feet long. And like I said, it can grow up to 6 feet, but it's extremely easy to just break off, pinch back, cut, shear, however you want to do it. Keep it the height and width that you want to keep them. Now, they do spread underneath the ground through rhizomes, and so you can still control that. Like, for example, here's one that's popping up here on its own because there's a root under that ground, and then it just pops up. But if you don't want it there, pull it out, and that's what I'm going to do with that one. This is a sun patient, which is just stunning. Love it. Picked up a couple of white ones too. And if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. You've probably heard me say Mystic Spires Blue a lot this year because I have planted an abundance of it, and I am loving my Mystic Spires Blue Salvia. It's pretty. Now, I popped this in the ground, I want to say back in maybe March. It has not stopped blooming since I put it in the ground. And so it's doing really great. I did put in a new rose. It's called an America Rose, and it is a salmon color, just absolutely gorgeous. Let me get the tag and give you an idea of what this is going to look like. I did have blooms on it when I first picked it up. That is stunning. Oh, it's a climbing rose. So I moved this archway from a different location here to this path. So I can't wait to see beautiful, beautiful salmon colored climbing roses all over this thing. I have, now most of my roses are back here, the ones that have done the best. I have a Joseph's Coat. That's the only one that has blooms on it right now. I have Broadway roses, and I have iceberg roses, which are my favorite. I love iceberg roses. They're a beautiful white color. I also have, let me get in here, this little skinny thing here is a climbing rose. It is called a Lady Banks. I did not put it in the ground. It's actually in a pot. I think I was afraid to put it in the ground because they can become massive and grow and climb up to 20 plus or more feet on width and height. And it just made me nervous. I'm like, do I really want to plant something that much on my fence that I can't afford to replace? But it's just me being a little cautious. I may put it in the ground, but I would like to encourage you guys to Google I want you to Google the oldest Lady Banks rose. It's in Arizona. It is going to blow your mind. This thing is on top of a structure that is, I don't know, I'm guessing the structure itself is over 30, 40 feet long or more. And the rose has been there for hundreds of years, they say. So check it out. Very, very pretty. These are leftover, these spring, actually winter. Oh, I love that color. Just gorgeous. So I still have some things left over from the winter that hasn't died off quite yet. This is an Imperial Blue. Oh gosh, spit it out there. I just went blank. I'll put it on the screen. I used to have a row of these down this back pathway, and they were gorgeous. Oh wait, I see a tag I had taken off. This is why I leave my tags on quite a bit. Let's see. Plumbago, that's what it is. So it is a perennial, and they do quite well here in Zone 8A. They do come back, and I've left them in pots and I've put them mostly in the ground. They've done well. I have quite a bit of white vinca that I have planted in both pots with this purple fountain grass and the white vincas that are lining this new bed that I just built this spring where I put the landscape timbers in. The plan is to stain it. I have not yet. I'm also supposed to drive some, I think I have some 12-inch nails that I'm going to drive from the top to the second one to make sure they stay secure long term. Look at that beautiful, beautiful. Oh, it's a lot of buds on there too. Wow, that is so pretty. This is another sun patient in the impatient family. And so my winter green boxwoods are doing really healthy. I planted those at the beginning of the season. And remember how I had to reseed this little grassy area right here? Look at that grass now. It is really coming through. I still have some bare spots, but man, all of this rain and that seed really helped. One of the reasons I use the white vinca in this area is because even though my garden in the back is west facing, where you get the most sun, I have these really huge crepe myrtle trees, which by the way, I just love sitting under these and looking through the branches is so pretty. But they do put off quite a bit of shade in some areas, certain times of the day. So what helps as far as how do I keep some pretty color back here? And for me, the vinca likes sun and shade, not full shade, but just some partial shade. And so they seem to work the best in this area. I can't wait for those to get really full and start to clump up close together. I planted them in threes, so I'll have these little bouquets along the way. And I have some Turks, no, I said Turk's cap earlier. This actually is Hot Lips Salvia. That's so pretty. Now, I had cut this back all the way to the ground this year. I didn't think it was going to survive. I had this around all of my trees in the back. I should say all of my crepe myrtle trees. You can see more over there. And it came back fully, but it's just starting to bloom. It's prefers full sun and it's not getting complete full sun. If it was, I'd have a lot more blooms than I have. So it can survive in shade and part shade, but it's going to be much happier if it has full sun. So I guess kind of a rule of thumb, you know, if it's a flowering plant that is made for full sun, the more sun it gets, the more flowers you get. So I'm just going kind of slow. Remember, well, if you follow me for a while, I planted these red photinia shrubs in a row down this back fence because on the other side of that fence is a field. And I know eventually one day someone's going to not plant, someone's going to build something back there and I'm going to lose my privacy. So red photinias, I can tree form them. They will grow massive and really tall. And I just have to stay on top of keeping them shaped. I've already done it with two that I absolutely love. In this back row, that is part of my dog's den, Nola's den. I have used materials for the most part that I already had around the garden, like the Purple Heart, for example. I had some elephant ears and I transplanted also some yellow canna lily. And the only thing that's really new is going to be the moss that's in the pots. And once these things fill out, I expect for them to be really, really pretty back here. I have some flowers and shrubs, and those are boxwoods, Japanese boxwoods. So you can see the size difference. These are about probably 3 seasons old. And this one is a baby from this year, just a few months ago. Now, the thing about red tip photinias, that's why they call it a red tip. When it starts to grow and put out that new growth, especially in the spring, it's just a beautiful, beautiful red copper color. Now, when it gets older, a few years in, I think it took mine maybe 4 or 5 years though, they will put out the most beautiful white flowers all over them in the spring. And the red and the copper is just prolific. It's beautiful. So look at that sweet little moss flower. I can't wait for all of those to bud up and come through. So let's check out Nola's little area. Oh. Oh, and let me show you my Carolina jessamine. I used to say jasmine, and I learned it's actually jessamine. Um, it's been here for 2 seasons, and I'll tell you why it's not blooming, because it has never bloomed, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the lighting. It's just not getting enough sun in this area. It looks healthy, and it's really, really growing. I have a second one there. Sometimes I'm okay with things not flowering, even though I would like for that to. I like the foliage on a lot of plants, so it's all good. So we're back to my doggie's area where she is trained to use the potty only in this area. That's her little friend there. And I got her a little artwork for her new garden room for the bathroom. Okay, so I'm gonna keep moving now. I am planning, people are on the way later this afternoon, so I thought I'd do a quick video here. I'm not done. So I just put down a fresh rug because the other one was just soaked and mildewed, and they say outdoor rugs, but that's not always the case. But I love this rug. This is my old dining room table that I've only bought one dining room table in my life until just last year. And I'm old, okay? I've had this thing for many years, and my dad sat at that table, my son sat at that table, and you know, I'm nostalgic, so I don't want to get rid of it. So I use it outdoors now. And I have here some bell peppers that are growing. I love bell peppers. This is my only little veggie section mixed in with some Dusty Miller and some zinnias that are coming through. Lots and lots of blue spruce sedum that's surrounding this really old fountain I have, and some yellow daylilies as well. This is kind of like my catch-all. I was pulling out yellow canna lily because they can spread more than I want sometimes. So I take them out and pop them in here. So if somebody wants them, we dig them out and pull them from there. I have some blueberries that are coming through. I've tasted those already. They are amazing. I absolutely love purslane. Now, purslane does reseed. It's listed as an annual. And also I have some lantana in here. This is the Proven Winners Grape Luscious Lantana. And let me see, I think I kept the tag on the purslane. This is the Mojave Yellow Purslane. And it's so gorgeous. If you're not familiar with it, the flowers will open up as long as there are lots of sun. At nighttime or on a shady day, or I should say cloudy day, the flowers close up. But if you see this on the ground that's nearby, that's from purslane that has been there about 4 years, and it's purple. And I try to pull it up and so it doesn't take over and become invasive, but it's not that bad. I love it. It's really pretty. Oh my goodness, the dianthus are amazing. They look great. And also my dwarf purple loropetalin looks really healthy right there. I want to show you the difference in something though. So I planted a row of these, and there's a lot of sun here, so it's very happy. You can see that pretty purple color. But if you go over here, this one is a lot more shaded. It's not as thick. It's more green. And these are healthy, but it's just, you know, you don't get that pretty color. It's kind of like the flowers. You need a lot of sun for that. Same thing with the dianthus. They're blooming, but they're not as luscious as those that get all the sun. So, let's see. My sad little area I'm still working on. I was trying to make a window, a fake window on the fence. So I put a mirror up there. I used to have shutters up there, but the shutters were like a, you know, kind of a play shutter I picked up at home. What was it? Hobby Lobby. And they were good for maybe 2 seasons. They weren't real wood, so they start to crumble up after a while. And so here is my little yellow garden. Shout out to my cousin Shirley, tribute to her. She loved yellow. So I do this in her memory. And I have to do a shout out to someone wonderful that I met last year in Lowe's. Her name is Lucy. She's a gardener as well. So she gave me that rooster there, and he has yellows in him. So I thought I would pop him in here next to the Coreopsis yellow plants, and these are daylilies that are not quite in bloom right now. I have some Nandina as well in there. And here I go again. I won't even say the name. You guys already know what that is because I got a lot. Peaches are dropping like crazy, y'all. Look at all these peaches. Okay. So I'm getting ready, like I said. Some folks are on the way. We're setting up. And oh, let me turn my fountains on. I forgot. Let me turn down, turn some things on out here. Give me a second. And there we go. So, oh my goodness, look at that beautiful, beautiful purple iris. Isn't that lovely? I love it. I just planted that a couple of months ago. It was one plant, and I split it and made two. I wasn't even expecting it to bloom this year. Um, the actual heuchera in the front looks so much healthier because it's full of shade. This one says part sun, part shade, and it's just not as vibrant with the purple. And it's still okay. It looks healthy, but I think I need to move it because we haven't reached those triple digits just yet. The elephant ears have definitely showed up again. I have some purple elephant ears underneath there that will get to be 5, 6 feet tall later on. So I may have to transplant more stuff. So let me go back. I did trim my sunshine ligustrum, tomato. And oh, wait, let me go through here. Oh, by the way, my theme for my party is giving you your flowers. So everybody that shows up will get these different colors. Everybody gets a pin, like a lapel pin or a boutonniere. And my daughter's on the way with some beautiful flowers to set up around the house and outdoors. I asked her to pick up a few bouquets. Y'all, this is my sad little attempt. I am not the arranger, I'm telling you now. So y'all go ahead and talk about me, judge me all you want. So I just cut some branches off of the peach tree and using the peaches, and I pulled some oranges, what I had laying around, some limes. I took the leaves from a crepe myrtle and peach tree and just put them here on the table as part of my little centerpiece. I try to work with what I have. I'm broke, y'all. I keep telling you that. Okay, so this wisteria has grown so much. It was 18 inches tall. Now it is at least 6.5 feet tall, all the way up there. And that was in just 2 months. So before everybody gets upset because I'm planting a wisteria, I've had a couple of people, just kindly remind me that they can be invasive. And thank you guys for that. I was aware of it. I am aware of it. This particular species is a native and it is not invasive. At least that's what they tell me. And from what I've been reading and studying, because I did want to, make sure I didn't get anything that was going to take over too much, like that one over there. You see how it's starting to bud up again already. This is the second flush of flowers coming out for this year. And it is a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. Now I have to walk next to my AC and it's loud. I'm going to try to cut that sound out, but I want to get closer to show you that beautiful, beautiful wisteria. They're really short on this one. It's a smaller flower, but it's very pretty. I love it. And even if it's not in flowering season, I just happen to love the actual vine itself along with the leaves. The leaf structure is really pretty. Oh God, and it feels good standing under this in the shade right now too. So you can see how it grows. It's starting to send out some new shoots and I need to direct it and make sure I tie it up. But I did come through and cut some of that back. So as long as I stay on top of it, hopefully I can keep it contained. So a couple other little things. This is the most massive lamb's ear that I've ever had, or maybe even ever seen. This thing, I'm sure I can't even show you how large it is on camera, but it's pretty big. And I am in love, love, love with these white flowers. Oh my goodness. I don't have the name over here. No, I gotta find it. I will put it on the screen. This is one of my favorites. It's going to be a spiller to spill over, and I have it in with a hosta, and that hosta gets pretty big. I don't know if I'll leave it full term in this actual planter or not. We'll see. And the coleus there mixed in with it. There's a little elephant ear that's popping up out of the ground. This, by the way, that pink flower is called, or this big shrub. I bought this for $2 at Lowe's on the clearance rack 2 years ago. That was in a quart size, okay? Looking pretty bad. It is called a rock rose. It is native to Texas. And it puts off pink flowers all over it on hardwood. And it also, it gets cut back. So on new wood, and it also grows on the old wood, I noticed too at times. So I do cut that back and it takes a pretty good pruning. So that's where I am for the most part. This bed here, I'm still trying to figure it out. There are some things in here growing that they're like me just testing and playing around with. I have some big leaf begonias mixed in with, again, some of the fire sun coleus, along with some zinnias that are getting ready to bloom. One of my weird plants is this little tree that I planted this is the third season. It's called a contorted filbert tree. And just like the filbert nuts, that's exactly what it is. I don't believe this one will actually produce nuts. It may require both the male and female, I can't remember. But I bought it because of its shape. It is so unique and so cool. I found it at Home Depot, and they do typically put them out in the spring for the last 3 years here in Zone 8A, I noticed. But I love that little tree. By the way, if you didn't know, crepe myrtles do reseed. Oops, I knocked the angel over. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I hope I'm saying that right. Reseed or grow. I don't know. I gotta Google that. I gotta look that up. I'm not 100%. Somebody will correct me if I'm using the right terminology here. I don't know if this is a new shoot from a root that is underground or if it actually reseeds. But this is a brand new crepe myrtle, and it's going to be a red one because it is coming in off of this one. I'm gonna dig that up, and you can put it in a pot. It will grow from a pot, or just relocate it to another place. Let me go back over here for a moment because I did pop in some magnolia trees earlier this season into pots because I'm running out of space, obviously, in my garden, and I didn't want to commit just yet to where I wanted to put them, on my property. So this is a little gem magnolia. I can't wait for it to flower. I can see the flowers getting ready to come in with those white flowers. And right now I have them mixed in with some labella, blue labella, and also with some white begonias. Now, this little area that I did not long ago, let me back up because I know some of you are following me, and thank you for that because you saw me build this new little garden room and also put down the brick edging. And the grass is looking amazing right now. This is Bermuda grass. It won't stay this way, unfortunately. As soon as we start hitting triple digits, it will be a struggle. So I reseeded this area, and the grass has taken off because there was nothing here. And I am hoping I can get the rest of this field in. Obviously, the challenge is because of the trees and the shade. Bermuda really prefers that full sun effect. Now, I did pop some random items in the ground, and then I took some of the leftover pea gravel and just spreaded it around next to my hostas I planted, some more begonias, and then these pots here are a mixture, and it's probably so confused. This pot has a little bit of shade going on plants, a little bit of sun plants, like this Venca prefers sun, but we talked about how it can handle, really a mixture of sun and part sun. And also I have a crepe myrtle, like I just showed you a moment ago, that I pulled out of the ground and just put in this pot, and it's doing fine. I remember this from last year. It had red blooms all over it. This is an asparagus fern that prefers mostly sun but can handle part sun. And then I put this vine, let me get around this side, on the back. It's a jasmine made of Orleans that will have white blooms on it. So if you figured out the theme here, all white plants, all white flowering plants that are back here underneath my little secret garden that's in the making. And hopefully it will hold up and make it through the summer. And y'all know I like to hang stuff in trees. It's just what I do. I have no rhyme or reason for it. I just do it. Oh, wait, let me get around here to this side. Oh, and I did pick up some more of those little balls that you can put. I put the link. I'll put it again in this video too. Someone had asked where did I get them. So I'll put the link in there. But I had picked up this really pretty caladium. It's beautiful. And I just stuck it in that little hanging planter lantern. And I thought, oh, how cute. I should do that for each of those. Oh, but then I started adding up the cost. So I said, well, that was cute in theory. And anywho, so Carrick's grass is hanging on, hostas, kind of a trend. You get the same thing. I try not to do too many different plants. You'll see a trend of me taking some of the same plants and just spreading them out. So it doesn't look, it's going to look busy back here regardless in my garden because there's a lot happening. But there are things that are just tucked around that you may not even see. So, they're here. And this particular little plant is called a fortnight lily, also with white flowers. It's part sun. And this area typically is part sun, but I'm starting to see it's probably a little too shaded. I can cut those branches back, and that needs to have, and by the way, I did not plant this crepe myrtle. This is purple. There's a flower coming through right there. It's one of those that popped up on its own. So I cut the suckers off the bottom, tried to tree form it best I could. This one has not been tree formed, but it came up on its own. I've been chopping away at it. That one I'm probably going to take out. I don't want to leave that there. My grapevine, oh man, this thing didn't do a thing for probably 4 years. It was weird because I planted it. Here's the root base here. Okay, but it crawls all the way around. A black butterfly. I just love when I see those. Isn't that pretty? Oh wow, how beautiful. It looked like it might be hurt or something. You okay, little fella? Are you okay? Oh wow, it's so pretty. Okay, so I saw one earlier too. I love when I see black butterflies. But so yeah, this thing is planted way over here, and then it starts to crawl, and it goes all the way up. You can see the teeny, teeny, tiny little grapes coming in. It took about 4 years for those grapes to finally start coming through. I don't remember the variety of this actual grapevine, but let me go back up here. Oh, look at the dianthus on this side where it gets full sun. Isn't that pretty? And also the shrubs are much healthier, much thicker because it has more sun. But let me come back because this grapevine, which is a different variety, my grapes are coming through and looking really tasty. Looking really good. So let me go back here where we're going to put the table up here shortly. I was going to show the grapevine. Oh, look at these little stools that my sister picked up for me yesterday. Aren't they cute? To make sure I had, just plenty of seating. I think I have like about 30 people, 32 people coming. And believe it or not, I actually have seating for 32 people. It's just spread out all over the place. So that way people can keep moving and mingling and, so those are adorable. She picked up 4 of those for me, really inexpensive at Ross. Okay, at Ross. But check it out. Look at that grapevine and how it goes all over the pergola. My goal was to have it grow over the top for shade. It took 4 years for it to finally start taking off. And so now, whenever the leaves drop, I don't pull anything back. The vine itself, the wood stays there and it's stuck on there good, okay? It grabs on and then it grows on the old wood. It comes back and it puts off some new shoots too. But that is it, I think, guys. Thank you so much. What questions do you have? Let me know. I love reading your questions and your comments. I thank you guys for being so kind and supportive of my journey. And as I said before, I started this whole journey. I have one video, I think it's called Gardening for Tomorrow. It was the first video I ever did. And it was last year. So I've only been on this channel for just over a year. And Gardening for Tomorrow. So to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. That was part of my passion and dream and encouragement. But most important, my faith. that has brought me through this journey. And why I started gardening is because I want to engage other people to have faith that you can do anything you want to do. I do it all myself with the help, don't get me wrong, with the help of my grandson. Sometimes he pops in, but for the most part, I've planted every single tree. I've dug every single hole. But I couldn't have done it alone because God himself has given me the strength to make this all happen. And I appreciate your support. Believe in yourself, have faith. Anything is possible. Thank you guys for watching. So this is what happens when your relatives come to your house and start robbing your peach tree.
Right.
But I think we have plenty.
Oh yeah.
Say them relatives from Stop 6 just ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, he's from Jamaica.
Is he from Jamaica, Mom?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think you're doing, Mom?
Rastafari.
Whatever that means.
Right.
We're from Fort Worth Country, Texas.
No, I didn't see it.
Just relaxing on a Saturday night with some family.
You went to the chocolate factory too, didn't you? I think we did.
And then the kids are somewhere. Oh wait, y'all, I got my good wig on tonight. Beyonce. Woo! Okay.
No, it does matter because I don't want you to get hurt.
What are they doing?
Yeah, you stand behind.
See, I put the kids on the side of the house so they don't tear up my flowers. Priorities, people, priorities.
That was a good experience.
And this is where?
Costco, same place. Where they got the ATV. Like they tell people, they're like, all right.
You talking about her daughter or mine? Yeah, Amy. I think I saw her.
I do.